We don't have one. Our next guest is actually working for the Trump administration. America first met Omarosa as the supervillain of the first season of The Apprentice, and now she's working for him again as assistant to the... No, you never heard that, Omarosa?
Not supervillain.
Oh, just villain.
Like
okay.
That's big screen stuff.
Now she's
like
working as the Director of Communications for the Office of Public Liaison. Please welcome Omarosa. You look very good.
Thanks, Joy.
You look very nice. We're in red today. So you're working for the Donald.
This is my first time back in 13 years. Oh, wow. I was here on the first season of The Apprentice.
Welcome.
Good to be back. And my mentor, and who I call the legend of TV, Barbara Walters, was here when I last was here. And it was an honor to be here.
That's right. So you're working in the White House with the president. What exactly are you doing? And do you genuflect in the morning? That's what I want to know.
Say that again.
What are you doing for them?
So I am Director of Communications for the Office of Public Liaison. And really, we are the face, the coordination between the different groups that want to have a voice and to inform the policy that's happening with this administration. And so I'm honored to serve all of the different groups who want to engage with this administration. In fact, right now, I'm planning our Black History Month program, and it's going to be extravagant.
Wow.
Well, let me follow up on that, because you say you're working on Black History Month, and one of your jobs during the campaign was to reach out to the African-American community.
I was the Director of African-American engagement for the Trump-Pence campaign.
Right, but 94% of Black women did not vote for Donald Trump. They voted for Hillary Clinton. And how do you respond to the criticism that Donald Trump doesn't really understand the Black community, doesn't really...
Well, let's put it in context.
Let me finish my question.
Well, how many questions? Because that's about 3 or 4.
The criticism has been that he's just using you for optics and that he doesn't really care about the Black community.
First one, and then we can go through each step. First of all, African Americans traditionally vote Democratic. Let's just establish a historical precedent. They vote for the Democrat. 94, 95%. So that's no different. But Donald Trump got 13% of the African-American vote. He doubled what Romney got. And he is very, very excited about engaging with the African-American community. Now, your second and third question I really didn't hear. So if you want to go through those again.
The criticism has been in the African-American community that Donald Trump doesn't really care about the community. And in fact, he's just using you as optics.
First of all, no one uses me. No one uses me. First and foremost, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, and then you can understand how I got where I am. I grew up in Youngstown, Ohio, in the Westlake Projects, a housing project. So I am the embodiment of the American dream. I grew up on welfare, on Section 8 housing. My father was killed when I was 7 years old. I went to public schools. I went to Central Ohio, got to Howard University, and started to work in politics. So I earned my way to sit in the White House. No one gave me anything, okay? And I think that when you start talking about the African-American community, you know, the last administration decided not to aggressively do African-American outreach. They felt that if they helped all Americans, then the Black community would be helped. And that, you know, that really isn't the approach that we're taking. We have a very strategic plan of engaging this community. We see what's happening in the inner cities. We see that 56% of African-American men under 30 are either unemployed or not in school. And we want to work to change that. We see the violence that's happening in Chicago. It's unacceptable.
They can't do what you did?
It's unacceptable to see the amount of murders that are happening. 1 second, Joy. Because what's happening in Chicago, and there's not an uproar, that so many people are dying and being shot, is unacceptable.
Okay,
and so we are going to address that. And this president already this week tweeted about Chicago.
He talked about wanting to bring
I want him to do anything there is to do to make sure that no family goes through what my family went through. My brother was murdered not even 5 years ago, shot dead in his own home. When I see these families in Chicago, 700 or 800 families had to go through what my family went through. I had to sit in the courtroom with the man that murdered my brother. This is more than just politics. For me, Joy, this is my passion.
I understand what you're saying. I'm questioning, why do you think you were able to make it and all these other people could not?
You know, that's a bigger question than for a 3-minute segment.
Does racism have anything to do with it, for instance?
And there are a lot of historical things that has happened that other people could answer. I'm going to tell you about my life and my experience.
Why do you think President
I was able to make it. One second, Gretchen. I was able to make it because my mother made sure that we were in the church, that Christ was the head of our lives, that education was at the top of every single thing that we did.
I think
and
it's quite common
she kept
amongst
us
the
out
Black
of
community.
trouble and out of the streets.
Yes.
And that's why I made it. I can't speak because we're not all a monolith. The African American community is so diverse. But my mother and the sacrifice she made after my father was murdered is the reason that I am successful
And I agree
today.
with all those things that you say, and hats off for all of your hard work in getting to where you are today. I guess my question is, what is it about Donald Trump, President Trump, that you see that will help change the way in which African Americans are in our communities?
Well, I think that you all have gotten to know him as a business mogul, as an entertainer, as a reality star, now as the president of the United States.
I can't make it up.
But I know him. I know it's got to burn your
They say
blood.
anybody can be president. He proved it.
It's got to be really. Joy, I know it's got to be really, really hard after, you know, the last year and a half of all the things that you said about Donald to see him sitting in the Oval Office. I know it's got to be hard for you, but I have to tell you
hard.
that I know
It
him.
kills me, as a matter of
and
fact.
I know it
And I
does.
love that.
But here's the great thing. You all know him as the president. I know him as a friend. I know his heart. I know the things that he's seen has never been reported on and probably folks won't ever
So we
talk
shouldn't
about.
listen to what he says?
I'm talking about my experience, Joy.
Yeah.
You can listen to what you want. You have decided to continue to hit him and hit him and hit him and not even give him a chance in his first
I'm
week.
waiting for him
But
to
I will say
apologize.
this.
I want to ask you, though,
You want who?
I'm waiting for him to apologize for all the things he said about
You?
No, not to
please.
me, not to me, to
just wanna- I
veterans,
just wanna
to John McCain,
To the
to the
disabled.
handicapped, the disabled.
I think the message that he has about personally about school choice, about opportunity, about jobs, I think that message did get to a lot of people, and that's why a lot of African Americans, a lot of people who were in poverty, people of all genders and races came out. My issue is
African
that
Americans did not come out for Donald
they
Trump.
came out more than they had for Republicans in the past, and that
They
means something.
did, and you have to give some credit to that,
Black
Sonny.
women did not.
I think-
But
I
you
know,
know, we
but
also
the
have to
problem-
move from campaign now. He's the president.
Right,
We're no
but
longer
here's the-
campaigning,
here's my
so
question
those
for you.
same lines don't
How
even
do you
work.
We have
bring
to
those?
go.
How do you bring the people in who are saying, you know what, no matter what, we're doomed, who are refusing to listen to the fact that a lot of these programs, in my opinion, will bring opportunity? How do you make those people who aren't
Answer
inclined
that
to
when
listen
we come back.
to listen?
Omarosa,
When
we're
we come
going
back.
to commercial. When we come back, she can answer your question. And we are back with Omarosa. Okay, Jed, you were saying.
Yeah, I was saying that although some of these policies, school choice, whatnot, have a positive outreach, I think there are some who feel that because of the statements he's made that are divisive and whatnot, that we're doomed. And they have this philosophy of we're doomed. How do you reach those people to say, hold on a second, listen to what we're actually trying to do and give us a chance?
Well, I think that once people see the results, I mean, he's about delivering and being productive. And we've already seen from this first week that he is going to do exactly what he said he's going to do. And we can trust that if Donald Trump says he's going to give jobs, he's going to bring back manufacturing, that he's about America first, then that's what he means. And we've seen that in 5 days. And people who even disagree with him have to agree that this first week has been probably one of the most productive weeks of any administration.
It has, but it seems that sometimes he gets a little off track as well, and he goes back to the crowd size at the inauguration and now the voter fraud investigation with 3 to 5 million people voting, you know, illegally. And now you have Jason Chaffetz, you know, from Utah, member of Congress, who says, I'm not going to start an investigation into this because I don't see any evidence of it. Is this a distraction for President Trump?
Well, I think that there's a time of adjustment. You know, he's not a politician. He's never held office, and he's moving from private sector to governing, and it takes an adjustment time. I think in the first 5 days, he's done a spectacular job of dealing with the most important high-pressure job in the world. And so we have to give him time to make that shift. And I believe that you will see that this president is going to be incredible for this country. And I am excited about what's happening with this administration. I'm very honored to be a part of it.
What if they find out in the voter fraud investigation that Hillary won the election? Will we do it over
They
again?
won't find out that because she didn't win.
There's a possibility she won by 3 million more votes. Possible. Isn't it possible?
I think that anything is possible, but I think what's more important right now, I think about the families who lost loved ones in the tornadoes. I think about the families that the president talked about this week who became victims of violence because of illegal immigrants. I'd like to continue to talk about the election. It amuses me, but the truth is we have
It
real
amuses him,
issues.
too.
We have real issues and there are real Americans who have problems that we have to address. So
no kidding.
You all can sit at the table and continue to talk about those things in the media, but we have a job to address. We have a job to make sure that the American people have exactly what they need.
Let me just jump in here real quickly. The day after the inauguration, millions of women marched around the world to protest President Trump. Many were offended by some of the things he said along the way, but how did you remedy this as a woman? Did any of this resonate with you?
Well, first, I'm an American. I'm a very proud American. So let's start with that. And I know people like to put labels. Omarosa's black, she's a woman, she's this. I'm an American first. And seeing those women march last week, it made me very proud. It's one of the most important fundamental rights that we have in this country. Right. The right to assemble, the freedom of speech, and the right to protest. I love seeing that. And there is a march going on. There's a march going on right now, the March for Life, that I hope that you all will give the same type of coverage that you are.
We did yesterday, actually. We covered it yesterday.
But today, it's going on right now. And so that same freedom should be afforded to all Americans. And I'm so glad that the Vice President is probably preparing to speak at the March for Life right now.
But why do you think it's so divisive? It's so divisive in our society right now.
It's politics. You know, politics is a tough game. This is my second time in the White House, so I'm not really new to the tension that comes with it. What's new to me is just this desire to paint Donald Trump with this negative brush without giving him a chance to do what he said he was going to do.
Can I just ask you this? We've been talking about how divisive this election is, and Gretchen's been talking about how divisive this election is. We often say that it comes from the top. He did lead this very divisive campaign. Will we hear him apologize?
Don't you think the media contributed to that?
Will we hear him apologize for the things that he said?
Stood by everything that he said. And now let me just say,
reporter?
He didn't make fun of a disabled reporter, but you can continue to say that. If you say it enough, people may start to believe it. Let me just say this as I close this. Y'all can keep throwing things at me. I'm not going to really fall for that. What I will say is the American people can listen to me right now and right here. We are committed to making this country the best it's going to be. We're not going to look in the past. We're going to look forward and put this country first. And that's what's not been happening in the last 8 years. We're going to put America first. We're going to put people back to work. We're going to make sure people are safe. And that's what this president is about.
Same as you,
This
Omarosa.
is a table for you all to negotiate things that you want to talk about from the past. But I now work for this country.
Yes.
And I take my job very seriously.
Can we see his
and
tax returns, do you think?
See, Joy, do you?
The audience wants to see it. Most Americans do not see it.
As I see we only have 1 minute left. My handsome fiance traveled all the way here from Jacksonville, Florida, and he is in the audience. Girl, I'm talking about my man. He is in the audience. No, boo. I'm talking about my man. We're getting married. I'm so glad that he's here. He's a Democrat. I'm a Republican. We get along just fine.
He may want to see his tax returns.
You want to see his tax returns? Raise your hand if yes, the answer is yes.
I just want to know if you're going to take his last name.
Oh, of course, he's my husband. He's going to be my husband in April. Right. And I'm so happy that he's here with me, and he brings me such joy. And I hope that you one day can find that kind of joy in your life.
Oh, please.
When they go low, we go high.
That's right. And I feel like I could get high right now. Thanks to Omarosa, and we'll be right back.
The inner city issues in the economy.
How do we go from Iraq to Black Lives Matter? Stay focused, Tamara.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Omarosa. Nobody thinks George W. Bush
My
is
name
at
is
fault.
Omarosa.
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 Yes, so when Tamara says that Donald Trump grosses out and is not substantiated, it's the same difference, boo. You want to come on with big boobs, then you deal with the pronunciation of your name. Look, Donald Trump stands firm on what his position is about us going into Iraq.
What's your opinion of the retweet of the Heidi Cruz and Melania Trump pictures?
Well, I don't think we should start there. We should start with the fact that a super PAC that supports
No.
Cruz
I want to know
Donald
what your
Trump's
opinion
wife.
is. I'm not going to let you do that.
And Don, let
I'm
me
not
just
going to
say,
let you do that.
Omarosa,
stop.
I'm going to answer that. Because let me tell you,
Omarosa, stop.
Wife, he's going to come
let's
back
stop.
for you.
Everybody, cut the mics. Everybody.
This is what
We're
they're
not doing that. I want everyone on this panel to answer the question directly. Then I will let you.
You can ask questions, but you can't answer them, Don.
Okay.
You can ask them, but I have to answer them.
Okay. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
I will.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
You're an absurd celebrity wannabe.
And you're a never been, so that's the word. I'd rather be a has-been than a never was.
I edited.
Pierce, welcome to our war room. Welcome.
Can you spell my name right?
What is your name?
I'm project manager. Piers, like a peer. P-I-E-R-S.
Oh, an S. Oh, my bad.
I want to spell my name right, Omarosa, yeah? Because I am the project. Okay.
There you go.
So you really are childish, as I said, right?
I knew his weak spots, and I exploited them. The mother of your children hates you, Piers, and your children hate you, Piers. They're embarrassed by you.
Leave my kids out of it. You foul-mouthed little tramp.
I'm going to have that man on his knees begging and crying for mercy.
It's
You're
over.
useless as a father.
It's over.
You're not even there for them.
You're a pathetic
Is there another man
waste of
raising your
space.
children?
Now go.
Is there another man raising your children?
What do you know about Piers?
I think he's in the closet. I think he's in the closet. I really do.
Unbelievable.
We've got the most hated woman on reality TV. We're going to smooth her out on this show, though. Omarosa's here.
Wait. What? You said you was going to straighten me out. What the hell was that?
I said, smooth you out.
Smooth me out. What does that mean?
We're going to talk and have a nice conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
Omarosa.
Oh, no, I know how to chill.
Okay.
But I will not be disrespected.
Okay. This is not the time for you to look for your moment. I invited you here.
Oh, I know how to find my moment.
I understand. We're going to talk about the book.
All right, well, let's get to it, Wendy. Oh, don't,
I want to look at it and show it to, well, then show it to Kenny right here. No, Kenny has the camera right here. This is the up-close camera. Would you like it to be seen? In many ways, you are the stereotypical angry black woman that...
I'm not angry. I ain't pissed off about nothing. I'm young, I'm educated, I'm successful, and I represent my community.
That's what you said on the BET red carpet.
And I represent my community well. I give back more to my community than anybody that I know. So if that's being ABW, you're reinforcing stereotypes, and that's important for you not to do.
No, I said
because you don't know me.
That's how...
You really don't. Now, did you have a nose job?
No.
It looks like you had a nose job.
No.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I just looked at before and after. Honey, before and after. Before and after pictures.
But if I can suggest, because the only thing that I've had done to my face is a little Botox, I would suggest for you some Restylane. The lines stay. They say good black don't crack. She's cracking.
And I would suggest a wig that doesn't sit off my head 3 inches. That would be my suggestion.
You know what, Omarosa? And on that note, thank you for coming on my show.
To go on The View and badmouth me to my friend is bad form, Bethany.
Well, okay, if you're going to talk about something that...
It's different for you and I. I'm an African-American woman. You get to walk around and be mediocre, and you still get rewarded with things. We have to be exceptional to get anything in this business. You're not walking in your own truth. You don't accept your own truth. It's true. The truth is, 10 years later, I'm still sitting here. 10 years later, I want to see you here still, this show, Bethany, a year from now. I hope so.
You will.
I hope so. I hope so.
So here's what I want to say.
I wish I had an audience person to get me cheers whenever I needed them. That's cute.
I don't think you have a brand. I don't think you have
you
anything
make
to show.
cupcakes. I worked in the White House. Get a grip.
What's your brand?
Get
I'd like
a
you to
grip.
tell us what...
LaToya was here last week, and LaToya told, remember everybody, LaToya
We
said...
have a nickname for her.
What is it?
L-I-E, Toya, because... Well, think about her past. Can we just think about her past? If you do that to your family, you'll do that to anyone.
Do what? Do what?
Lie. Toya has a problem with the truth. And so when she was sitting here lying, she was not telling you the truth. Don't ever tell me to be quiet, LaToya. You will be respectful. You're a project manager, but you're not going to disrespect me.
I am always respectful.
Okay, then being
Who is the most
saying
disrespectful person sitting in this room right now? You tell me.
You're being disrespectful, and
No,
that's not
I'm
good
asking you a
leadership.
question.
Look up good
Who is the
leadership.
most
Being disrespectful is not good leadership.
But I'm not
Look
going
it
to let
up
you run over me.
and take notes.
I am not going to let you run over me.
Being disrespectful will never work for me.
Oh my God, I'm being punked by a Jackson.